Dear students, good morning to one and all. In the Unit 3, as I told you earlier, there are 6 subtopics, out of which 4 topics are completed in the previous video. Today, we are discussing the 5th topic of the Part 1, Computer Networks, in the Unit 3, that is network devices. As shown in the slide, the network devices are nothing but the electronic devices. I am repeating again, the network devices are nothing but the electronic devices. Basically, these devices are used as hardware parts for communicating between two computers. As shown, many of the network devices are listed out here, like hub, repeater, switch, bridge, router, gateway, NIC, modem, proxy, transceiver, patch panel, etc. etc. Among all, we will discuss the 7 network devices as per your given syllabus. So, out of which the first one is hub. See in the figure, the hub box is given, which is connected with several devices. This hub is nothing but a centralized device which is used to connect multiple devices in a single LAN network. I am repeating again. Hub is a centralized device that is used to connect multiple devices in a single LAN network. What will happen with the help of this hub? When this hub receives a data signal from a network, from a computer, means from a connected device, except that port, it forwards those signals to all the other connected devices. Repeating again, from whichever the device a signal is received, where that device is connected to a port, except that port, the received signal is transmitted to the other devices which are connected to the other ports as shown in the connectivity of the hub. Basically, there are 2 types of hubs. One is passive hub. What do you mean by passive hub? Simply, this passive hub forwards the data signal as it is received. Means, in whichever the format the signals are received, in the same format the signals will be transmitted to the other devices in the passive hub. When come to the active hub, it is also called as a repeater. When compared with the passive hub, what this active hub will do is, after receiving the signals from a device, before those signals are forwarding, it amplifies those signals. Amplifies means in a required format. So here, let us assume that both the source device and the destination device are receiving and transmitting the signals not in the same format, in the different formats. So in such case, we use these active hubs to convert the source signals into a required format where the destination is expecting. So this is called as a active hub. As I told you that active hub is also called as a repeater. Let us see how a repeater looks like. It is a dumb, means there is no software is being used in these repeaters. What they do, they just copy the bits blindly and they don't understand what those bits are. They will be forwarding those bits to the destination, to the other devices. This is a repeater. Second one of your network devices. Next, what is the third one? Let us see the third device is termed as switch. What it do is, it is just like hub. This is also used to connect the multiple devices in a LAN segment. But if I told you that it is just like a hub, but what is the difference between a hub and a switch? The major advantage or the difference of a switch when we compare with the hub is, it makes the switching decisions in the hardware by using application specific integrated circuits, ASICs. I am repeating, these switches, before they are transmitting the data, takes or makes decisions in the hardware by using ASICs. What do you mean by these ASICs? The full form of this ASICs is application specific integrated circuits. What are they? These ASICs are the specialized processors built only to perform very few particular tasks. Usually, these ASICs in the switches have single task, and that is switching the frames as fast as possible. This is the third type of the your network devices. Now coming to the fourth one, bridge. As you see in the diagram, this bridge is used in the data link layer devices. Here you are hearing a new term called as data link layer. Don't worry about it. In the coming session, we will discuss about the 7-layered network architecture. There we will discuss about the data link layer. This bridge has only 2 ports. What actually this bridge is used to do? It is used to divide a large network into small segments. Means it breaks large network, as it is mentioned in the diagram. So there are different types of bridges. You see the first diagram, it is general picture of your bridge, where there are different number of computers are there. In the first part 18 computers, second one 20 devices, third one 19 devices, fourth one 13 devices, which are all connected with a bridge. It is a general image of a bridge. Now coming to the types of bridges, there are 3 types of bridges are there. The first one, it is mentioned local bridge. What this local bridge does? This bridge connects 2 LAN segments directly. Means if n number of computers connected under one LAN, as you know LAN means local area network, and m number of computers are connected into second LAN, these 2 LANs together connected using a bridge. So this is called as a local bridge. The next type of bridge is remote bridge. As you see, here also 2 LAN segments are connected, but as a difference from the local bridge, it uses WAN link, WAN. We have already discussed WAN, wide area network link. By using that wide area network link, 2 LAN segments are connected, which is called as a remote bridge. Now coming to the third one, wireless bridge. See the difference between the remote bridge and wireless bridge. In the both the figures, you can identify 2 LAN segments connected and 2 bridge devices are there. But the only difference is, in the remote bridge, it uses a WAN link, whereas in the wireless bridge, by giving its meaning to the wireless, it uses 2 wireless bridges. Means you see in the diagram, there are 2 antenna types are there, where the signals are passed without having any wire connections. Means the data or the signals are transmitted through the wireless. These are the 3 types of bridges. Now coming to the 5th device of your networking. So that is nothing but a router. See, by naming, this router will maintain a routing table. So what for this actually router is used? This router is used in the network layer of your 7-layered architecture, which we will discuss in the next session. This router connects two network segments, means it switches the data packets. Remember, it switches the data packets between those networks which are either located in different logical segments. Means when the number of network segments are logically different to each other, are connected far away, to pass the data will be divided into or grouped together as packets, and those packets will be transmitted by using these routers. So whenever this router is going to transfer the packets to the destination from the source, it keeps the records of all the connected networks. These records are maintained in a database table. Repeating, these records are maintained in a database table known as routing table, as I told you earlier. This routing table can be a static one or maybe a dynamic one. Means it may change dynamically or it may not alter, so which is called a static one. So this router can perform lot of works as listed out. It is used to connect different network segments. It is used to connect different network protocols. It is used to connect many smaller networks into a single network, and also it breaks larger network into smaller networks and two different types of media. I already discussed earlier, there are many types of cables or media cables like coaxial cable, twisted pair cable, fiber optic cable are used in the computer networking. This router connects two different types of media types, and also it is used to connect two different network architectures, means tokening architecture, Ethernet architecture, etc. etc. So, and also finally it is used to connect LAN network with your telephone company office. Okay, means from the telephone company, if we want to transfer the data and received by your local area network, this router is also used. And the sixth one is gateway. These gateways are used to interconnect and forward packets between two different networks having different protocols. Means here you see two different networks, a LAN or MAN, a WAN or MAN, like a PAN or LAN, so like that. And these two different networks are also using different set of protocols. What do you mean a protocol? It is nothing but set of rules that are fixed to receive or to transmit the data. If two different networks are using two different protocols, between these two different networks that are using different protocols, if you want to interconnect with each other, we use the gateways. There are basically three types of gateways are there. They are email gateway, GSMW gateway, PAT gateway. Here you see in the diagram that gateway is given in the bottom. This device knows the path of the remote destination address. If it is required, it also changes the encapsulation of the packet. Means if it is not able to identify the destination address where we want to transmit the data, it encapsulates the packet so it can travel through other networks also to find out the destination. I am repeating again. If the address of a destination is not able to find, it encapsulates the packet so that it can travel through other networks also to identify the destination. If it is local, fine. If it is not, also this gateway provides a specific feature to identify the address of the destination. This is the gateway. And the last one, network interface card, NIC. Remember, if two devices wants to connect with each other, this NIC is must in a computer system. Every computer which is using nowadays definitely will have this network interface card. It is a hardware component, as given in the first statement. It is a hardware component without which a computer cannot be connected over a network. If you don't have this NIC, you cannot connect that computer to a network. So here it is a circuit board installed in a computer that provides a dedicated network connection to the computer. And there are alternative names are also there for this NIC. It is also called as network interface controller or network adapter or LAN adapter. You can see the diagram of the NIC, network interface card. The basic property of this NIC is it converts the parallel data signals to serial data and vice versa, the serial data signals to the parallel data. Because as we have discussed in our previous unit number 1, the data can be transmitted by using synchronous and asynchronous signals. Synchronous means if both the source and destination are at each means at the same way of receiving and transmitting the data, means it is called as synchronous. But whereas if the source is parallel device and the destination is a serial device, if you want to transmit the data between these two, that data transfer mode is called as asynchronous data transfer mode, where the parallel data should be converted to the serial data. In the same way, if you want to send the data from the serial device to the parallel, serial data should be converted to the parallel. For that purpose, this NIC is used. Here, there are two types of NICs are there. One is media specific, second one is network design specific. Here, the media specific means LAN cards are used according to the media type. Means, as we discussed, there are different types of medias we use, like coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, twisted pairs, like that. So based on that media, if we are going to transmit the data by using this NICs, those NICs are called as media specific NICs. Whereas the second one is network design specific, means different types of networks like LAN, MAN, WAN, etc., etc. If you want to transfer between these different types of LAN networks, then that type of NICs are called as network design specific. Here, this is the last type of network device. Apart from these devices, there are even different network devices also used, like which you are most familiar. One is modem, the second one is proxy, the third one is transceiver, and the fourth one is patch panel. So as per your syllabus, I have described about the details of these 7 types of network devices, and in your text material which I have provided, I have given the explanation about the modem and the proxy and the transceiver and also the patch panel for your reference. So you can go through that self-explanatory text material for the remaining components. With this, we have completed the 5th topic of your part 1 of unit 3, that is computer networks, and in the next video we will discuss about the last part, that is OSI reference model. Thank you one and all.